Go through how to properly do a transfer, and then we're going to go into fall participation. So we are going to do the transfer quickly, and again, I'm sorry with my shoulder, I'm not going to do it. But we're going to actually go through the process, and I'm going to talk it through while they're actually doing it. So who's going to be the transferee? Okay, so Cheryl is going to be transferring Lisa, and one of the first things that they're going to do is communicate, right? We talked about that. And so we're going to, if at all possible with movement, we're going to have Lisa scoot to the edge of her chair, and Cheryl's going to talk to her about what she needs her to do. And then when Lisa scoots to the edge of her chair, if she's capable of doing that, Cheryl's going to get into position. If Lisa can't, then Cheryl's still going to get in position, and what is she going to start with? First thing is she's going to stay hydrated and she's going to stretch, right? Before we do anything, she's going to do a little motion and move, because if we do it cold, we're going to hurt ourselves. Second that she's going to do is take her wide stance, what we talked about positioning. If you want to stand up and even practice this motion, please feel free. Take someone next to you if you want to watch it first. So she's going to take her wide stance, and then with her dominant leg, which happens to be the way the chairs are set up right now, Cheryl is going to lean in forward. She's going to put her knee in as close as possible, and she's actually going to give her a lot of support by picking her up with her chest, but they're going to do it on the count of 3. That's the way we teach it. So she's going to go 1, 2, and on 3, they're going to get up and they are going to transfer. Now, Lisa is really not helping at all and being dead weight, which is good. And so if you see Cheryl twisting, and they're going to show you one more time, and they're going to do it a little faster this time so you can see it's hard to do a transfer slow. You can see that she's pivoting her feet. When you were watching her and it looked a little disjointed, the reason is that we don't want to pick someone up and we don't want to crank and lift and turn at the same time. So what she's doing is keeping her legs out, and if she's turning, she's always keeping her neck up straight. You never want to, if you're scooting someone toward the edge of the chair to get better leverage if they're bigger than you, what we never want to do is grab from here, right, and pull forward. When she puts Lisa back down, I'll have her show you. So Lisa, scoot to the back of your chair. So if we wanted to get Lisa to scoot, and Lisa couldn't, she was physically unable, what I see a lot of people do, grab her by the back of the knees, they'll grab her and pull her forward. Very, very bad move. You have a lot of nerves here, you've got a lot of ligaments, and that just very, very bad. So there's several ways that we could get her to the edge of the chair. One of them is, I kind of call it a butt tuck, and you take one hand underneath like the thigh buttocks and the other hand underneath, and you basically just walk her forward, no, underneath the butt. There, yeah, that one. And you basically just walk her butt forward underneath here. You're not pulling from anything this way. The second thing that you never want to do is grab someone underneath here and pull up without having any base like that or from behind. You have a lot of nerves and you've got a lot of things that you can pinch in here. Really, really bad. You always want to make sure that you're going underneath and you're hugging and you're getting a lot of support so that you're then taking them on yourself. And if you notice when Cheryl comes up, I can feel her muscle, all her weight, and Lisa's weight is now right here on her legs. Does that make sense?
Can you show us on a lot bigger person than Lisa?
Absolutely. That's why Chip is standing here to actually show us. So Chip, come on up. You're going to show Chip. You're going to show us Chip. We're going to show you on a bigger person. So you can, either one of you. Yep, either one of you. So again, now we talk about reality, right? The reality is if somebody is 3-4 times your size, that's really hard. Can you do it? Yes, but you have to be really careful, and it's not going to be pretty. We're not in the Olympics. This isn't about pretty. This isn't, what we said, Dancing with the Stars. We just want to complete a safe and proper transfer. So when we're doing it, again, if Chip is all the way back against his chair, it's going to be 10 times harder to lift him because he's further away from Cheryl. So the closer that he can be to Cheryl, the better. And Cheryl also has a disadvantage now because she could get more of herself around Lisa. When we're a woman with smaller arms, a man with bigger arms can get around us. A smaller armed woman, it's harder to get around. So what Cheryl's going to do is communicate with him that on the count of 3, he's going to use as much weight as possible. Now we'll have him do it the first time nice. We'll have him do it the first time nice, and then we'll do it again without. So do it so you guys can get comfortable, because again, it's comfort, right? They've transferred before in the office and done participation, but it's very different when you're doing it with no leverage. So go ahead and do it once that you guys communicate.
1, 2, 3.
And get the feel. Okay. Yeah, and the chairs are really hard on this stage, but you know, if it was a wheelchair, you want to lock it in. If it's a bed, you want to make sure that you're close enough that you're not going to the very edge of the bed. What happens when you hit the edge of the bed? You slide down, and that's really where you can put a board or something underneath the bed to give the mattress more support, or a side handle on the mattress, so where you're transferring, if they have hand mobility, you can grab on to the handle, which will help. So why don't you do one now where, Chip, you're not helping. You didn't help her much? Okay. So we'll do it again. Cheryl's like, oh. And again, this is where stretching and hydration comes in, because this is hard. This is not for the weak, I'll be honest. The way they make caregivers look, this is hard work. It's not smooth.
And don't do this on a slippery surface.
Yeah, not on slippery if you can help it. Yep. All right, you guys communicate and talk.
1, 2, 3.
Now you can see maybe he moved his feet, but if anyone would like to come up and try, feel free. I mean, we have plenty of men who are more than willing to volunteer. I can't lift, but I can be transferred, so you can lift me. The base is, though, and when you do it, we'll actually have you participate. When you do a wrong transfer, you're going to feel it right here in your back. Can you already see my positioning is wrong? My legs are close together. Go this way so you can see. My legs are close together. My back is over. My neck is down. Totally wrong positioning. If my base is wider, my foot is forward, right? My chest is out. When I bend down, do you see how different that looks? You're going to be able to lift a lot more because you're not lifting with your arms. You're pulling forward and the weight is going here. It's a totally different feeling than trying to lift underneath the arms with your sheer arm strength. You can't do it. It's not going to happen. But your legs can take that weight a lot more. Now again, there's certain size proportions you're just not going to win. I mean, if you're 4'9" and your husband weighs 450, not going to happen. But for the most part, you actually can do quite a bit in being able to do this. But this is where a Hoyer lift would come in then if physically you're unable, or a slide board, which we were shown earlier that we could do a slide across. Any questions before we start doing falling? Okay, just want to make sure we're really clear again. You don't want to pinch underneath here. Never pull here. Always make sure your base is good. If your neck is up, your back is in alignment. If your neck is down, usually, it's very hard to do a down neck and a proper back. Try it. Bend your head down and try and straighten your back. Do you see what I mean? You end up going like this, but if your neck is up, try and arch your back. It's really hard it just goes together. Okay, we're going to do a participation in a fall. I'm going to walk one through, and then we actually have Pat, who has ALS, and Lisa is actually Pat's caregiver part-time. And they have, to my knowledge, not practiced this. I told them not to practice, so this was real. We do this every year. Unfortunately, our participant passed away, and he was great. I don't even remember how big. How much did Carl weigh? A lot. And I did it, and we fell, and we hit the ground hard, and Lauren, who couldn't be here today, just caught his head from the wall, about this far from the wall. That's the reality when we fall, though. So we're going to actually show you a real fall, and we're going to protect Pat's head. But the concept is you can't stop someone from falling, so you have to participate with them. You're going to get hurt. Your knee is going to take one. That's where we're going to fall. So we're going to show first, and then we're going to get you up. So come on up. And I'm going to very gingerly demonstrate that you and Chip are going to do it, so that I can show the move. So come over here. So again, I'm not the best person for this right now, but you can kind of see. So I'm ambulating with Lisa. My proper stance would be like this. If I don't want to hold her hand, I'm still right here. If Lisa all of a sudden starts to fall, and depending upon the direction she went, let's say she started to go the wrong way first. Hang on. Go the wrong way first. I'm going to be able to pull her back toward me. Now this is one-handed. She is not helping, by the way, at all. If I'm going to pull her whole body weight, honestly right now, is on my leg. You can probably see my leg shaking right now. Her whole body weight, it's okay, go ahead. Her whole body weight is there. So again, I can hold this position for a while. If she goes too fast, I'm not going to be able to catch her and with momentum not do this. So we're going to do it slow-mo, so hold your own body up. We're going to do it slow-mo, and if she's falling and my hand is here, as soon as she starts to go, I'm going to position myself. I'm immediately going to let go of her pants. Remember my position in my hand? And I'm going to just worry about her head. Okay? The problem is, go ahead and pull back up. I'll let them do it for real. The problem is that her legs are going to go anyway. Her butt is heavy. It's going to fall. If she breaks a bone, okay, it's not the best thing, but what do we want to protect? Her head. What if she's wearing glasses and she's glass in the eye? The head is the thing we want to protect. So remember, the legs we don't care about. The butt is going to naturally hit because that's the heaviest point and the point that's going to go down, and it's cushy. We're going to care about this upper part of her body, so we're going to move ourselves from this hook. We're going to immediately release. We're going to back up and get out of the way as much as we can and guide her head down. So I'll let the two of them show you. And do it once, fall into him and do it and do it gracefully. And then we'll do it when he is not knowing. It is how you're supposed to hold the pants.
So the
First time, tell him, communicate, and then the second time, just fall.
So we're going to walk falling.
Okay, now did you see what Chip did? Head, guided down, didn't worry about her legs or her feet. And Lisa's drum queen, so she's going to lay there until we tell her to get up, so you can get up. And so now we're going to do it. Lisa's not going to tell Chip which direction she's falling or when she's going to fall. They're going to walk around for a little bit, and Lisa's just going to go.
Switch Lisa and Chip.
We will. We will, actually. So go ahead and just don't tell them, walk around for a while. Do you want...
Oh, you did good.
Now, one mistake, you should have let go of her arm. So let's do it again. And actually, take your glasses off, because that makes me nervous. They don't, but because I know she's fallen, I'm going to take them off. So go ahead. The two of them clown around a little more than... let go of her arm. Okay, now we'll switch it. We'll have Lisa do Chip. It's going to be totally different. You ready?
You didn't tell me.
Here. You can have them on if you're not falling.
All over my black shirt.
All right, ready? And make sure when you're doing that, you're going to drop the hand right away because we don't care about their hand. It's common. What Chip did is actually really common. We hold on to the arm. The arm is not going to do anything other than pull it out of the socket. That's not going to stop them from falling, especially when they go fast, which if you fall, you don't usually go, hey, I'm falling. Notice, notice. So he's going to go down. She's going to drop this. She's going to that's why I like the hook like this, because this comes out perfectly fast. If I'm hooked in this way, it's much harder for my wrist, and if someone falls on my hand, what happens to my wrist? Snap. If someone falls, what happens to my wrist if I don't let go? Nothing. It bends this way. Worst thing is I maybe break a finger at the most, but that's the worst. In comparison to this, I'm going to pop, dislocate my shoulder, my wrist, my elbow. So she's got to let go of the hand, and she's got to let his body fall and just worry about his head.
You want to move
Go ahead.
the chair?
Huh?
You want to move the wheelchair?
Hopefully they won't fall off the stage.
Move forward. Yeah, we're going to move forward.
Just don't fall forward. It's okay. You're going to hit. It's all right. Falls aren't easy.
Phone's not back there.
All right, go for it.
Protect my head.
Try it again. Now, I didn't have them practice ahead of time. The reason I didn't is because when you practice with your partner, have you practiced before? No? Or have you? Good. But most of the time, have you practiced? No. So I want you to see what it looks like. After a couple times, you're going to see a totally different fall. Do it again. Now, is that better than this first time? Okay. How about one more time? Let's see if the third time is even better. Wouldn't you hate to work for me? Guess what we're doing today? Everybody get up. One more time. Don't tell her this time. Walk around a little bit. Catch her off guard. Very good. Very good. Very nice. So you can see from the first time of having no clue, hanging onto the arm, not having any idea. This is something like, have you heard football players and gymnasts practice how to fall? So should we. We should practice how to fall. Very important. Our limbs are mobile. Again, we talked about range of motion. We talked about massage to keep things done. We talked about fluid. This is why you want to do that. Everybody is going to fall. I mean, I honestly have never worked with an ALS patient who hasn't fallen. So it's going to happen, and if you practice, it's going to be easier for you. So we're going to have Pat come up, and Cheryl and Chip and Lisa are going to make sure we get her up. And Pat is very brave, so everybody give Pat a real big round of applause. She has never practiced this, so we We are going to make sure we try and keep her very safe. So Chip is going to be the extra hands for her head to make sure that we keep her head safe.
I want to know how you're going to get me up.
We will help you up.
I can pick you up.
That's the easy part. It's the down that's not so easy. Anybody have any questions while we're getting into position that they saw or it didn't look right, or they have any questions? You understand why it's so important to keep a wide base? Did you see how much feet work they were having to do? If your feet are right here and someone's coming on top of you and you're having to do that, you're going to go down. If your feet are a little bit wider, and again, we're talking you have to respond on the dime. So you're not going to have time to think about, well, I've got to widen my feet. You have to practice enough so as soon as you start to feel somebody go, you're in a stance that you have a little bit of a wider mode to it. Pat, you're the bravest person I know. All right, perfect. Now this is a real scenario. Lisa is actually Pat's part-time caregiver. So they go out and about, and this is a real scenario that could happen. It's very encouraged that they, as a team, practice so that they know how to do this. And it's very scary. It's very scary. But wouldn't you rather the first time you fall in a controlled environment than fall out in the middle of the street and have no idea what you're doing? So practice on carpet. This is not carpet. Practice when you have some support. Chip is going to be our backup, and Cheryl's going to stand with us too. We really want to protect her head, but we're going to let go, and Lisa's going to take her, and Pat's just going to we're only going to do this once. We're not going to do this 7 times. Pat is going to fall, and Lisa is going to do her best to control her fall, and Chip and Cheryl are just going to watch her head. So go ahead when you guys are ready. Fall into her, not away. That's the only rule, just fall into her. And just let your legs go. Don't touch her, just yep, perfect. Perfect, good job. Yeah, we'll hold you up, so you don't have to be on actually, I'm not allowed to. I'll use my arm and end up hurting somebody. Now, did you help at all? Yeah. A little bit? So Pat's saying no, Lisa's saying a skosh. Do you see how controlled that was, though, at the same time? And Pat has some good leg strength, but not a lot, especially if you have leg strength up, that's one thing. When you're going down, nobody has good leg strength. Once you get to a certain point, it goes out. So we really want you to practice this. We'll do it with you. Can I use you as an example? Do you want to share your story of this? Because we did this at the spring symposium, and maybe you can share what you didn't think would work or what did, and while we are getting her set. So, go ahead.
And just tell the truth?
Yes, absolutely. No, come on, I gave you $20. You're supposed to lie for me. Absolutely.
Well, no, because when they approached me to use us as an example, I was like, there's no way. Because there's just no way. I mean, Dave's solid mass, and he's a foot taller. And we kind of proved that. We got him up on the stage, and he went down, and we had to get a couple people to get him up. So I have then, since then, been using my grip. In fact, I have to tell you, it's a funny story. I was coming in here today, and I looked at Suzanne, and I said, see what I learned. It's like, and I mean, I have my grip on him almost all the time. And if I didn't have that, seriously, we go down the basement stairs every day, and it just
and you practice with you being in the right position and that grip behind?
Yes, with the direction. I mean, I was sitting here saying to myself, when they were doing that with Chip, it was like, let me get up there. I can do better than them. And I mean,
good job. I'm very proud of you.
Well,
that's true.
I'm saying it's like I've got it down, but I do it all the time.
Yep.
And I've got it down. That's one thing I have got down.
Good.
Not
good.
anything else.
Well, and I know when we first talked about it, she was like, that's impossible. And you know what? There are sometimes it's hard to get somebody up. That's the other thing we always talk about is, well, show me how to get somebody up. There's no easy way and there's no right way. I actually checked out during one of the presentations because a gentleman needed to leave because fatigue was setting in and wanted me to show how to participate in the fall and then get up. And one of the things we talked about is there are times, and this actually goes into kind of our next presentation piece. I just think that's really cute. There's not always going to be ice, but if I fell, that's what I would look like. and these are all the things that we just talked about. But the biggest piece position to pick yourself up or to help pick someone up. So you literally have to fall, and you might have to roll somebody. Actually, Cheryl, come here.
Yeah,
Let's flip the lights back on one more time. Yeah.
I mean, when you're showing your demonstrations, pretty much everybody is, like you know, the caregiver is on the side of the person falling, and the lady's already there.
Yep.
What happens if they fall this way and you're on this side?
But again, that's where what Debbie was talking about. If you have your hand, come over here, Cheryl. I am not going to catch her. I'm not going to let her fall on my arm. But turn around. She's got such a cute little bottom. Turn around. Okay. If I have my hand here and I am gripping this, okay? Now turn around. Go ahead and just start to do whatever you want. There is no way she is going anywhere. And that's what I was showing the assistants, is that she's not going anywhere. If I want her to go this way and back, she's going to go. Now, I'm not using this arm at all. This is strictly controlling because of the fact that this is the majority. Where's the majority of our weight? Right in this area, right? And so, go ahead, try again. Nothing. So she starts to fall. I immediately stance, and she's on me. She's not helping at all. Go ahead, push. Push off the other. I'm using one arm, and I'm doing that. Okay, no. Now, my finger hurts, my pinky hurts, I'm fine. I'm fine, and if I pulled her back, and I was really doing it, which I wish I could show you because I've done it 1,000 times, so I'm like Debbie. I was pulling hard. She's probably going to be singing soprano for a while. But, hello? Exactly, and I can do it to him. I mean, if you practice when we're done, you are amazed at how much that grip, and no one believes you till they do it, and they go, that grip is everything. If I pull her back, again, I can't catch her, but I can still, with one arm, guide her down and drop her and catch her head. It's the head that you're worried about. Let the rest of the body fall. And your grip has to be able to immediately let go because you don't want to hang under the arm and you don't want to hang on and get them down because then they can go this way, right? When they're up, I've got control. Once they start going down, this hand means nothing because they can tip and straight head into the cement. Make sense?
Yeah.
Okay. One thing I want to show you, and I talk about this every time, open up your goodie bag. Your toolkit, sorry. You have a cookie. This is the most important thing that you've listened to today, in my opinion, for what you have to deal with. Listen to this piece, okay? This is in here for a reason. When you fall, it's going to be embarrassing. Your adrenaline is going to be rushing. You're going to be panicked to get up as soon as possible. You are going to be worried about injury. You're going to be like, holy cow, and you're going to scramble to pick someone up right away. Do not do that. I want you to sit down. I want you to assess how that person is, how you are. If you got scared because your loved one just took a header, cry. I was really scared. You scared me. And this is in here because I always say, have a cookie, make out, get a little tongue action, whatever you want to do. Calm down, refocus. This is a moment. We don't always have moments, and we don't know how long our life is or how short our life is, whether we have ALS or anything else. This is a moment that you can either make a horrible experience or you can turn it into a great story around the bar later, right? So you can be like, we had the best makeout session in 20 years right in the middle outside of Macy's, you know? Have a cookie. Seriously, go get a cookie. This is what this is here for. Put it in your freezer, and the next time you fall, you're going to be like, Sarah's cookie! And you're going to run in, and you're going to all laugh, and you're going to get a cookie. You might be hurt. There might be blood. Of course, we want to address that first, right? And then we'll eat the cookie. But the concept is you may have to position someone not where they fall. Cheryl's going to come and lay down on the floor in her white pants and just realize.
Should Bruce do this with me? You're not going to kiss me, right?
No. No, lay down on the floor, yeah. That's later, I couldn't tell my secrets. Okay, so Cheryl's going to lay, she just fell, right? Well, what if she's got her head wedged underneath where, like, a mattress is? The story that I went out with the gentleman who took me out was a real story. This happened to him. He was trying to help fall. His friend fell, and his head actually kind of wedged underneath the mattress. And he goes, or underneath the bed frame. He goes, what do I do now? Stop. Look around your room. What do you have to help you get up? And what position are you in? Now, what I told him was he was kind of wedged this way, and so I said, okay, put your legs flat. Do we know how to roll safely? Well, we do. We're going to pull up this leg. Sorry. We're going to put this arm this way. And now, all I'm going to do is one hand, and Cheryl is not going to help me. One hand. That's it. She just moved out of the way very safely. I didn't drag her. I didn't have to use her armpits, nothing else. Now I could continue to roll her that direction if I needed to, but I'm rolling her to get out. The other thing that people do is they come right behind, go ahead and sit up for me, and they go like this. Oh, let me hold you up. You're deadlifting her bottom part. That's the heaviest part. Where if I could get, let's say she's against or toward a wall and I could push an ottoman in, I might be able to roll her onto her side enough where if she has some arm strength, she can even get her arms up. And now I don't have to go from here to standing. That's what other people forget too. We don't have to go all the way up, right? If I could get her just a little bit up to like an ottoman position and re-get her strength, now maybe I can just get her that much further out. One hand.
Now do that. Can you do that without arms?
No arm.
I can.
Come on up.
Just show it, whatever.
Well, I'll tell you how I figured it out.
Perfect. Use your mic.
Oh. So
It takes just a second. There you go.
So Dave fell, and well, actually, I have one for you, but I ended up after 4 hours, and I got him to the hallway, and then I had to figure, because he has no arm strength at all, so I had to figure how to get him up. And once again, he's a foot taller and big and solid, just muscle mass, you know, very dense.
Yes, he is.
So I finally went and got a kitchen chair,
Yeah.
and I put that in front of him, and I mean, I got him sitting up, but I couldn't get him up. Yeah, and I mean, it's 4 in the morning, so I'm like, not calling anybody really. So I finally got him over here. Well, he was sitting, here, you sit down, there. And what I did was, I brought the chair around and kind of like that, and I got, well, and he can't even do that. So I got him in front of the chair, and he used his chin, and then what I did was I folded his legs under, so he had a little bit of oomph from his butt, and then we did not 3, we did 80. So I ended up I went like 1, 2, like we kept trying it,
Yeah.
and then finally I got him like, and you had to really use your chin. And like with that, I got him up onto the base.
Yep.
And then
Exactly.
he got his knees up, and then with that I could pull him up.
Exactly.
Yeah.
Exactly. Good job, Debbie. And that's just it. You have to look at your resources. You had to go get a chair. You might have to get an ottoman. You might have to try to get toward a wall. You might, again, don't pull on anything that can fall down, a dresser, something like that. But again, you don't have to go from all the way on the ground to I'm standing up in one move. And that's what we try to do. Don't do that. Little baby steps at a time. Also, think it through, right? The pyramids. How did we build the pyramids?
One by one.
One brick at a time, and it wasn't going to go up all the way, and there was ingenuity. You don't think that one of them climbed all the way up there. They had some sort of crane to lift things. I mean, even though it was not in our time. You have to think like an engineer, which is hard sometimes. How am I going to do it safely, but I don't have to do it all at once? If they have arm strength and no leg strength, that's a little bit easier sometimes, because you can kind of grab on and pull a little bit. But it's still the same challenge. If you get your legs underneath you wrong, so that's why when people sit up like this, like I had Cheryl sitting straight up like this, you have nothing to do with these legs. They're not going to help you. You've got to get them underneath you. The other thing is if you don't have a lot of leg strength, even just putting them on their knees with a wide base, they can hold their own body weight on their legs. So that helps even a little bit too, because even if your legs are weak, you can still support a little bit of your weight just because you've got bone in there that are holding it up. So that helps. If the arms are going down, exactly what you did, you may have to flop an arm on a chair or use just the body to get you enough height so that then you can lift a little bit and give them the edge that they need to then get this. You can't lift from here.
Right.
You lift from here. So you got to get them, like you said, count to 80.
Yeah.
That much to get this, be able to
And
engage.
it's even harder when you're laughing.
And were you making out?
Well, we weren't making out.
Oh, come on.
No, but we were.
I'm trying to spread the love here and nobody is helping.
We were not, and I said, grab the video camera. Because people are not going to believe some of the things she's had to do with me. My God.
But see, you're making a moment. And
Yes.
again, this disease, I always say, what is it? Who's ever been at my symposiums? This sucks. Thank you. This sucks. There is no good way around it. It sucks. So if you can make a moment, that's the only bad word we say in the whole presentation, but if you can make a moment out of a bad situation and make a memory out of it, then it doesn't seem so bad because now you have this relationship and this peace that actually really means something. And that's the hard thing, is that none of this is easy. It's never going to be easy, but if you can have a moment to smile and a moment to remember and cherish, then you know what? It's okay. You did it. So what did we learn? When we fall, we're going to do what? Have a cookie and make out. Now, if it is not your husband or your spouse, I suggest you think that through a little bit. I don't want to give free rein to anything. Sarah said I could make out with that secretary. She fell. I don't know. So, not saying that. We are going to put out ice cream. It's already out. If you don't want to go get it, you don't have to. We're going to get up and we're going to walk around, use equipment, do anything you want to do. And then we're going to come back for about 15 minutes and we're just going to have a standing panel discussion where we're going to bring up everybody who spoke, all of our vendors. We're going to bring Patty back to answer any medical questions. We're just going to do an open forum for however long you need. If it's no questions, great. If there's 5, perfect. And we'll just have whoever is the most appropriate to address the question answer. So please feel free to get up. Everyone's going to go back to their booths and have wheelchairs available. Come on up and try anything you want.